In this video, I will be discussing difficult topics, mainly depression and suicide. If you aren't in a good headspace right now, I would not recommend watching this video in case it triggers unwanted emotions. I would also like to add that I've been a fan of Rob Gavagan since 2015, so take my bias into consideration while watching this video. Even though he is one of my favorite YouTube creators, I will try to be as fair as possible while discussing him and some of the drama that's been going on with his community in recent weeks. Rob Gavagan is an American YouTuber with over 3 million subscribers. On his main channel, that is. He also has a commentary/comedy channel called Smiling Pariah, with over 70,000 subscribers. In the past, he also had a vlogging channel and gaming channel, but he no longer posts on either, unfortunately. He's been making content since 2012 and is one of the pioneers of horror content on YouTube. Rob, being one of the first creators on YouTube to talk about some seriously strange stuff, horror and true crime brought a lot of traction to his channel, and rightfully so. The way he presented himself on camera was very professional, and you can tell he put everything he had into making us quality content. I mean, if you watch any of his videos, you can tell they are heavily researched, the videos are beautifully edited, and the set designs he once had were very creative and well thought out. So, because of all of the hard work and dedication he put into his channel, he grew a very large and devoted audience. Now, imagine my surprise when I see this exchange between him and a few of his followers on Twitter. So, the Twitter thread starts off with Rob stating that he may go live on his channel on October 1st, 2020. This was a recent exchange, and this is what a Twitter user had to say about that. Why the F are you exploiting your fans for money with false promises of creating content when you're obviously spending it on drugs, vape supplies, and tattoos? I hope someone from the IRS is watching any and all of your future begathons. Get a real job, lying isn't one. Yikes. Rob responds by saying, "Anyone who watches me knows I don't beg. I express that if people want to help me, how they can. I always say not to give if they don't have the money. Now, I've expressed many times and stand by the fact that I need to produce more regular videos. That's definite. I acknowledge my flaws, and I know they must be fixed. And I'm working to fix them. That's all I can do right now. Also, spending money on drugs? What? You mean the medication I've been prescribed? And vape supplies. All of my vape stuff is like 2+ years old. I'm allowed to spend money on certain things that aren't directly related to the IRS. I can still go see a movie too, so..." He then goes on to say he has not gotten a new tattoo in a while. So after the tattoo tweet, he says, "So you may think I'm some evil bastard exploiting my fans for their money and I'm off just blowing it on stupid shit. But you have no clue the things I've gone through, the payments I've made, the crippling situations I've been in because of those payments I've made. You also don't know the people I help, the people who depend on me. I've made a great many mistakes, and I'm working on making less. But I would never exploit my audience. And you'd know that if you weren't chomping at the bit to criticize what you just don't fully understand." A different Twitter user replies to all of that saying, "Your live streams have been you begging for money, Rob. I don't know if you are in denial or just trying to gaslight your subscribers into thinking they are wrong when they pull you up on it. But it's pretty grim." From here on out, the exchange between these two just goes on, and I don't feel like reading it. So I will show you the full exchange here. If you would like to read all of it yourself, please pause the video to do so. So that was a lot. Let's start unpacking everything, shall we? The first accusation the first Twitter user made was that Rob is exploiting his fan base for money. What do they mean by that? Rob will occasionally go live on his main YouTube channel. He has no set schedule for these live streams. They're pretty random as far as I can tell. I've seen him give his fans a day notice on Twitter, but sometimes he lets them know the day of. Usually, at the beginning of his live streams, he lets his fans know that he appreciates super chats. But if they want the money to go to him sooner than later, they can donate through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, etc. He's also said in recent streams that the IRS has access to the money he receives on YouTube. So if his fans want to support him, then PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App are his preferred methods of payment. Now, I know I said I'm a big fan of Rob, which I am, but I don't follow this guy religiously. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with him and the IRS. From what I've been able to gather, when he first started his YouTube career, he didn't file his taxes correctly, and because of that, he owes them a lot of money.
You know, I have a lot of problems with the IRS and shit like that, okay? Just about all of you know that by now. Because I didn't exactly know how all this shit works until it was too late. And I got a real crash course in taxes. And if you know anything about me, I have a tumultuous relationship with the IRS. They can levy that money. They can take it right out of YouTube's hands, essentially, my network's hands, and won't get to me at all. So, and it goes through YouTube's hands, and the IRS can potentially take it. They can swoop in and just institute a levy, and I'll have no fucking clue what's going on until it fucking happens. So that's fun.
I assume he found out he owed them a lot of money after the adpocalypse and couldn't afford to pay them back right away. As far as I can tell, he's still in debt and the IRS has access to his YouTube AdSense account. So any money that he earns from YouTube goes straight to the IRS. Again, I could be wrong, but I think I got most of that information correct. If any of you watching this are big fans of Rob, and I got this information incorrect, please leave a comment informing us on what actually happened. Now, another accusation that was made against Rob in that Twitter thread was that he made false promises of creating new content. I'm not sure if they meant false promises on his main channel or his Patreon, because a few of his fans seem to be mad on both platforms. Here are some screenshots of a few posts that were made on Rob's community tab on Patreon. Why did I bother? So I subscribed to Patreon and basically only did it to see Rob's new videos uncensored. I have been a member now for over 2 weeks, and I have yet to see a single post by Rob. All of the videos are 3 years old, and I don't see him around to help his community, speak to his community, or have anything to do with his community. I'll be removing my membership. Here are a few other posts that were made, and as you can see, people aren't too happy with Rob. Now, he does have a lot of positive posts that were made about him on Patreon as well. But I'm just trying to give you an idea as to why this Twitter user might have accused him of making false promises of creating new content. If the Twitter user wasn't referring to his Patreon, it's possible that he's made promises of creating new content in some of his most recent live streams. So, as we saw, a few of Rob's fans on Twitter and Patreon aren't too happy with him right now. But it doesn't stop there. Here are some YouTube comments that were left on his livestream from October 10th, 2020. And again, this livestream was either deleted by Rob or made private by him. Just a fair warning, some of these comments are brutal. Several are attacking his appearance. Some of them are saying he's on drugs. They're just straight up mean. Like, I get y'all are mad that he hasn't uploaded much in 2019 and 2020, but come on, he's a real person, treat him like one. Overall, from everything that I'm seeing, the majority of his fan base is mainly upset from his lack of uploads this year and last year. To put it into perspective for you, I've counted how many uploads he's done in the past 5 years. Here is a list of the past 5 years and how many videos he's uploaded each year. It's possible I got those numbers wrong, but I counted over everything twice, so I think those are accurate. Those numbers also don't include anything that was made on Smiling Pariah or live streams that he has deleted or made private. So, getting back to the main point of this video, what happened to Rob Gavagan? Why has he uploaded only 6 videos on his main channel this year? Why isn't he active on Patreon? Why does he sometimes say he'll go live on Twitter and not follow through? Why does he disappear from social media for weeks at a time, if not months? One big reason is his mental health. Rob has come forth on several platforms talking about how poor his mental health has been these past couple of years, and has even gone into detail about it in recent live streams. From here on out, I'll be playing clips from one of his most recent live streams where he talks about mental health, how he's doing now, and what's next for his channel.
Katie Ann, 1991. Hey Rob, hope you've been doing okay. Thank you, Katie. I I have been doing actually pretty decently since I've started to be more active on here, which someone just said, "You're very active lately, Spooky Daddy." Thank you. Yes, I am. Live streaming mainly for now, but I will be uploading actual video content starting next week. Then gotta get back to Smiling Pariah. I'm dying to do that. Revive Why Would You Put That on the Internet? Over there. Sarah, I've missed your face, Rob. How have you been holding up? Been holding up. Can't complain. Starting to switch back to introvert or extrovert mode from introvert mode. So yeah, it's like this whole thing. Yeah, I can't exactly complain about that. It's like my whole entire personality type has changed. It's weird. Like I'll have these periods of time where I go dark and friends might not see me for quite some time. Now I try to keep that shit away because I hate it. I really hate it. There's still some friends I haven't seen in years. I'm talking years. That I would see fairly often before. A lot. And yeah, just, you know how depression works. Many of you know. Many of you get it. You know how depression works. It just kind of keeps you locked down. So yeah, that's kind of been the thing. But thankfully, I'm starting to come out of that now. And I've got some solid friends that have got my back, you know, who I'm in contact with all the time. Some who I can see in person, some who live in all areas of the world. But how I know I'm going in the right direction is I want to stream like all the time, not just because it makes money and all that kind of shit. It's not just for that. It's because I get to connect with you guys in a way that I don't normally do. And it's cool to get all your comments, and so many of you are so smart. It's beautiful. Yes, okay. And the normal comments there, the reg comments. Yes, I do have anxiety. Yes. I have anxiety attacks, panic attacks, the whole gambit. So yeah. You're describing being an ambivert to me, as I am very similar. Yes. Yeah, that's what I would say. I have to kind of say that because I am. I feel like a lot of people use ambivert because they want to be both. They want to be an introvert and an extrovert. But I actually am, like, legitimately, like, I'll shut down for months, potentially longer, potentially cross over a year plus of not seeing people and being largely isolated. And I'll see, like close family, but that's about it. And then I'll go into these phases where I need to get out of the house, like, constantly. Like, and if I'll get stir crazy, I'll get cabin fever real fucking easy. I'm talking one day where I don't leave. I'm like, man, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta go hang out with someone. I gotta go do something. I gotta go somewhere. And it's like, man, kind of crazy. I thought for, a while I might have bipolar because, it sounds like, I go into like manic states and then depressive states, and they're severe, I still don't know. I haven't been assessed, so I don't know, but I hope not. Keep being great. Also, I can stay up for days at a time. That is also something when I'm in, especially when I'm in a state where I'm going out and doing things, I can stay up for like 3 days at a time. 2 weeks ago, I stayed up for 6 days on 12 hours of sleep. 12 hours and 20 minutes, sorry. 12 hours and 20 minutes, or 11 hours and 40 minutes. I'm not sure, but it's give or take 20 minutes because there was one night that I only slept 20 minutes. Yeah, 6 days on 12 hours of sleep, not fun. But my longest stretch is 5 days on no sleep whatsoever. 0 fucking sleep for 5 days. I've never been the same since that time. People hypothesize that you could potentially go at least partly kind of insane that way. I wouldn't consider myself insane by any stretch, but I definitely haven't been the same since that. I can't fucking watch TV shows that I watched around that time, or else it'll like make me sick. You know, like, I don't know. It was just a very, very weird time. I obviously became suicidal. There's no fucking surprise there, right? But yeah, hey man, I've gotten to a point of being very suicidal, and I've had to go to an emergency appointment before. The doctor was like, it was like a Saturday, and I'm like, hey, I need to see a doctor because I'm having suicidal ideation, and which is, you know, suicidal thoughts of killing yourself. Suicidal ideation is actually the planning, and yeah. And having suicidal ideation severely, and she's just like, okay, well, let me see here. She's like, okay, the doctor can get you in on Friday. I'm like, that's 6 days from now. Like, in my head, I didn't say that over the phone. I'm like, that's 6 days from now. And I'm like, I almost went, okay, you know, and hung up because I just wanted to not even do that call to begin with. And yeah, needless to say, I actually did speak up. I did speak up, and I said, it's actually incredibly urgent. It's an emergency. I need to see somebody. And they're like, oh. I'm like, yes. And I explained kind of what happened, which I will refrain from explaining here. If we hit $2,000 in my PayPal, I'll fucking tell you. If we hit $2,000 in my PayPal in the next 5 minutes, I'll tell you. Okay? But yeah, I'm just around. I'm not gonna try to milk money out of you to tell you a, you know, depressing story. So, like, hey, if you pay me a shit ton of money, I'll tell you a really depressing story. But yeah, so yeah, I've gone through my share of shit, you know, after the collapse of YouTube especially. So yeah, but I told them, I'm like, listen, this happened. This is an emergency. And they're like, okay, come in. I think they said it was either that day or the next day. They're like, we'll have a doctor. We'll make it happen. Like, okay, thanks. Click. And got put on medication, and I've been on medication ever since. And it's worked wonders. So yeah, I am a proponent of medication when it comes to your mental health. I'm a proponent of a lot of things when it comes to your mental health. I think that your mental health should be addressed as your physical health should be addressed. And I think it's not addressed enough. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think, you know, duh. Like, what a fancy new take no one's ever heard before. But, you know, I don't know, you got to take care of your mental health. You really can do. It's really important. Really fucking important, because your mental health can change everything. Your physical health won't even be applicable anymore if you kill yourself, right? So, yeah. But I've gone through some shit, came out the other side, thankfully, and I'm here. And everything just kind of built up and kind of broke me a little bit. So, but yeah, I got the help I needed. And yeah, but I also thought about what kind of example does that set as a YouTuber, you know, like you think about it now listen, if you can't handle this kind of shit, don't listen to me right now. Click off the stream for, 10 minutes and then come back. I'm not going to be talking about it much longer, but, if you can't handle talk of this kind of nature, then please, by all means, go. So, no. I was planning out leaving a note and all this kind of shit, and I'm like, okay, so how would I, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, well, obviously it's going to have its own section where I'm going to largely blame YouTube for this. Not entirely. I've done plenty to walk myself to the edge of the cliff. I just say that YouTube gave me the shove off. But I walked my ass to the fucking cliff myself. Personal responsibility is huge. And my suicidal ideation came on like that. Like out of nowhere. And I I mean, it had been building, but it hadn't reached that point yet. And then out of nowhere, one day it just did. And just to say, I'm on medication. That's largely why I'm a proponent of medication, because I know how it can work and how it can affect you. I have therapy, medication, and that's what I do. And you know, obviously I'm focusing on getting my life back together because my depression has derailed my fucking career. But here's the thing, you guys are so fucking amazing that it's like I can start making content again, and it's not like I took a massive hit. Like, you guys are all still there for it. And that to me is irreplaceably amazing. Irreplaceably amazing. You guys have allowed me to make some pretty huge mistakes, and you've been great to me. So thank you. And in exchange, the least I can do is say that I'm not going anywhere, that I will remain here, and content is on the fucking way. Come hell or high water, you will get a video this coming week. You will get it. Come hell or high water, it will be here. Okay? It's a drug deal. I'm just kidding. But that seems to be a rumor that's going around that I am like... I'm constantly high on a ton of drugs. Apparently someone thinks that or something like that. So many of you are amazing. Julie, this is all I can contribute towards the $1,000 goal. Love your videos though. Well, Julie, you didn't send it to my PayPal, so that doesn't even fucking count anyway. So get the fuck out of here. I'm kidding. It's a complete joke, Julie. You're a sweetheart. Thank you. You're so kind. I'm totally being a dick on purpose just to, you know, I'm fucking with you. I'm totally kidding. Anyone who knows me knows that's... of course, I'll get someone to tweet me like, oh, Rob, I heard you call someone... tell someone who donated to the wrong fucking place to, like, get the fuck off of your fucking live stream, you asshole. Some people are fucking morons. One person said that I claimed to... doctor shop. I was doctor shopping, and if you don't know what that is, it's when you go to a number of different doctors to try to find one that gives you the medication you want. Usually something illegal, or usually like maybe like a painkiller or something like that. One doctor's like, we'll give you ibuprofen. You're like, okay, and then you leave, and then you go find another doctor. That is a crime. Doctor shopping is a crime. But because I stated that I am seeing a doctor and got prescribed Adderall, that's all I've ever said, and it was the first doctor that I connected with, by the way, when I realized like maybe that might help me to like do more with my channel, because I'm dying here, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was the first doctor I reached out to. First doctor. It's just like, hey, listen, I'm having issues here. And I've had issues practically all my fucking life. And I've thought of it as normal, but it's not normal. I don't think it's normal. And I'm starting to think like I've got a serious problem here. And she's just like, yeah, let's try it. Let's give it a shot. So I got put on Adderall, and I've been on it since. And it's been like 3 months I've been on it. So like, and then this person's like, oh, you claimed to doctor shop on your live stream. Like, yeah, I totally fucking confessed to a felony on my fucking live stream. Yeah, I totally did that. Also, that's, you know, if I were to do that, that's totally something I would talk publicly about. Absolutely. I'm pretty sure they were just trying to fuck with me and piss me off. It just came off as fucking stupid, but, you know, like, some people take things the wrong way. You know, you can never really tell. Some people just take things very much the wrong way. And it's like, Jesus Christ, people, like, chill. Slow your roll. I try to be as good as possible to the people who are good to me and people who support me. All of you support me so well. Also, like, just by being here, it's hugely appreciated. Not counting all the people that are sending money to my PayPal and Super Chat, Cash App, and Venmo, and whatever it may be. When you're a YouTuber and you're on the public stage, you get a little extra asshole treatment. Suddenly, there's thousands of assholes to deal with. God almighty. I've made many mistakes in my life. I have regrets. I do. But I've never doctor shopped. I've never had the inclination to do that.
There's a few things I would like to say before I end this video. First off, I believe the main reason Rob hasn't been active on his main channel is because of his mental health. That's pretty obvious. But I also believe it's because of the adpocalypse, the IRS, and I'm sure a multitude of other reasons that he hasn't felt comfortable sharing yet, if ever. From an outsider's perspective, he looks like a guy who's gone through hell in recent years. I know some of his fans are frustrated with him, but I'm just so thankful that he didn't give in to his suicidal ideations and is doing everything he can to fight his depression. Rob, if you ever watch this, which I doubt you will, I'm glad you're still here, and I know the majority of your fan base is as well. Thank you for being open with your struggles, and I hope showing some of your live stream was okay. Please don't hate me. That about does it for this video. If any of you are struggling with your mental health, please be like Rob and seek out help. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.
And I wish you the best on your journey through life. Do not give up. Do not give up. There is always something good waiting. Maybe it's not right around the corner like these people want to tell you, like the good's right around the corner. No, maybe more shit's right around the corner. Maybe a bigger pile of shit's right around the corner, right? So, you don't know. But something good is going to end up being there for you down that road. Something that you look at and you're going to say, I'm really glad that I'm here for this. I'm really glad that I'm here for this. And all the bad shit's a memory. I mean, it's a bad memory. It hangs on you. Maybe it changes the psychology of your brain in a negative way. But you're like, man, I don't know. I'm not living that anymore. I live with the echo of it. But I'm really happy to be here to see this. Whatever that may be. Whatever it may be. I know some people have started families and shit like that. Or some people have found someone they've fallen in love with and they wanted to give up before because they didn't think anyone was capable of loving them or they were capable of being loved at all. And then they find the one. Imagine if they gave up. You know what I mean? And then they find the one and it changes everything, and they're like, man, it was worth it. It was worth it to go through all that hell where I thought I was alone, So never give up. Never, ever give up.